to the grid. You're just thinking about winning a race.
It's going to be two Mercedes going wheel to wheel into turn one.
Brilliant wheel-to-wheel action, definitely game on.
Your finest moment in the race.
What a great race we've got in progress.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Barcelona. Formula One has touched down here again for its annual test programme. And new cars under very different regulations will make the next 8 days on track absolutely vital. And the Formula One world does seem a changed place as well from the end of last season, doesn't it? With McLaren legend Ron Dennis, reigning champion Nico Rosberg, and the boss himself, Mr. E, all making surprise exits. But they, and of course every self-respecting petrol head, will want to see exactly who stands where before the cars start racing in earnest in Australia for the first Grand Prix of the season. So, sir, madam, Circuit de Catalunya, is it? Come this way, please. The weather was set fair, albeit fresh, for all 4 days. And before wheels rolled, there were a couple of cars still to launch, including the new Toro Rosso, which carried strong visual echoes of the Mercedes. They're one of only 3 teams to retain the same driver lineup. Haas left it until the hour before testing began to reveal their 2017 car. First on track as lights went green, Renault's Nico Hülkenberg, pursued by Marcus Ericsson's Sauber. Running a 2016 Ferrari engine and in Mannor's absence, will Sauber do well to avoid backmarker status? Will Mercedes be frontrunners again? The world champions split their driving duties. Valtteri Bottas racked up 79 laps in the morning. Valtteri, we've heard a lot about how Formula One in 27 would be. How was it?
It was good. It was fast in the corners, as we expected. I also love seeing, the other cars on track. I think they look great. And what has been good this morning, we did more than a race distance, and we had no issues at all.
Lewis goes in the car this afternoon. I won't ask about whether you share data or not, I'm sure you will. But will you have good cooperation over this testing period? Have you already found a good working relationship?
So far it's been very good. There's been no issues at all, and I'm sure we're going to share every single bit to help the team go forward, and I see no reason for any issues in the future.
Will you speak to Nico Rosberg? You talked about doing that. What sort of things would it be useful to learn from him?
I haven't spoken with him yet, but obviously when I got confirmed to drive for Mercedes, I was trying to suck all the information from every person I can really about the team, how the team works, how different personnel work. Anything I can get, I'm happy to get the information, because it's still going to be a steep learning curve for me, so maybe it could help.
Just one last thing, any other cars either in launch or on track today caught your eye? How do you think the season's shaping up in terms of who Mercedes' rivals will be?
It was quite a busy morning for me, so I didn't have a look yet, so I will need to have a look bit more of an analysis with the team, but I think it's going to be the second week. It's going to be much more interesting in terms of where we are compared to the others.
Lewis Hamilton had a similarly busy afternoon, and a pacey one. He bettered his own pole time from last year.
I mean, it's just a much more beefed up version of the car that we've had in the previous years, so it's a lot more downforce, a lot faster through the corners, everything you know of, and that means more load on the driver, it's quite a considerable amount more than before, which is a good challenge.
Red Bull are favourites to push Mercedes hardest. Camera crews crowded around to see if the distinctive nose funnel that appeared on preview snaps would be on the car. It was. Red Bull also had an unwanted distinction. They were first to break down. A sensor problem, one of several niggling issues. How was it today? Not the greatest of starts. Was it some kind of sensor error? Was there any more to the issue than that on track with Daniel Ricciardo?
We've had a couple of niggling little issues. We had a battery issue and a sensor issue on the engine side. But the guys are working hard to to rectify that. They're not major issues, which is encouraging. Good to see the other cars are doing a lot of mileage with the same power unit. So hopefully later this afternoon we'll be able to rack a few more miles up.
Because a lot is expected of your team this year. The hope is you will challenge Mercedes and we'll get a fight between at least two teams for the World Championship this year. Tell us about this hose in the nose, or this nostril people are calling it, this hole in the front of your car. What's that in aid of?
Well, obviously its primary purpose is cooling, but I mean, there's lots of different interpretations like with all these things. So it's interesting to see how different teams have interpreted the rules, and that's part of the beauty of Formula One is, how creative engineers can be.
Some interpretations of the rules end up with protests to the FIA. There's been a lot of talk about the suspension you have and the one Mercedes has. Can you survive a protest if it came from Ferrari? Are you confident you've abided by what the regulations are this year with regard to that?
Well, like with all these things, it's all about interpretation, and we believe we've interpreted the rules correctly. There's been an awful lot of fuss made about it. If it's illegal, then the stewards it'll be protested and it'll be looked at in Australia. We believe it fully complies with the rules. We have documentation to demonstrate that it does. We've been told by the FIA it's okay. So more than that you can't do. I think unfortunately, Formula One has these somewhat grey regulations. And that's the nature of the beast, that they end up being exploited.
Times were quick, almost from the off. In his morning runs, Sebastian Vettel bettered last year's day one mark by a second and a half. An oil system issue confined McLaren largely to their garage. Fernando Alonso managed a single lap before Honda mechanics dismantled what's a newly configured engine for this year. He got back out, but it was hardly the start the team wanted. Eric, I'm sure you didn't want to be standing here with only one lap on the board to talk about, but can you explain in detail what this oil problem is?
No, I can't. It's just we have an oil system problem in the car, so we are changing the PU. Power unit, the full power unit, so we will give back to Honda for investigation later.
I mean, it's the first day of testing, and you want to find faults so you can correct them, but what kind of setback is it?
Well, at the end, it's nearly a day lost, which is obviously not great when you have only 8 days to test. So this is what it is, unfortunately. We have to deal and cope with that. We do our best to change the PU as fast as possible.
Is it a consequence of the reprofiled power unit that Honda have because it's so radically different from last year? Must you expect perhaps issues like this?
Well, as you said, we're here to test anyway, so it's better to have the issues here rather than in Australia. I think we have to let Honda investigate and answer your questions.
Just finally, how's Fernando dealt with it? Is he keeping his spirits up to date? Does he expect to get back on track?
Yeah, I mean, we all expect to be back on track, obviously, and hopefully. I think obviously it's disappointing, like all of us. We were expecting to turn up here. I mean, yesterday we had this commercial day and no major issues, so it's obviously disappointing to not be able to run today.
Yeah, I mean, just finally, that was a good day yesterday, so can we forget about this being any kind of recurrence of 2015? Are you confident you'll have a good winter?
Yes, we are. Obviously, we always are, but a day like today shows that even if you try your best, there is potentially always something who could stop you to run, so we have to do better.
Williams' pre-season's been eventful. Unretired Felipe Massa was quickly back in the groove and on the pace. Kevin Magnussen grazed a wall in his Haas after a spin. He also became the first driver to have experienced all 4 current F1 engine types.
It's been a very good start, not in terms of today only, but the whole experience of working with Haas has been very positive, and it's a small team that it's not so difficult to get to know everyone, and I nearly know all the names already, and that's positive. And I think it's not really true because you have the Lara as well, and some people working with the wind tunnel as well, and there are a lot of people. But in Haas, it's a very clean structure, and I think being a small team brings a lot of positives as well, because you can react quicker to certain things, and as a general rule, I think communication is quite good because fewer people.
Mercedes, in a sense, picked up from where they left off, with everyone else in their wake. Yet Ferrari had occupied top spot on the opening test day for the last 3 winters, so topping this timesheet guarantees little. Times suggested projections of cars ending up 4 or even 5 seconds faster than last year are quite feasible. Doubtless Niki Lauda and the rest of the Mercedes staff best enjoyed their supper after the team looked dominant on the track, particularly via Lewis Hamilton today. Although perhaps the unluckiest man here is Mercedes development driver Pascal Wehrlein. He was meant to be testing for Sauber, but a back injury sustained in the Race of Champions has ruled him out this week. However, he has told us that he should be fit to take part in the action for the second test next week. Craig Slater, Sky Sports, Barcelona.